Lika annexa earlier. Yeah, when Gigi.
Ashuka Mutashi.
No.
Yeah, the same.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Thanks. Yes, Mr. Balloon.
Is reminded of it.
Yes, my Lord, Lieutenant Colonel Hadebe is under cross-examination by counsel for accused number 1 and 2.
Yes, Mr. Ngomazan.
May I proceed, madam?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. So, Mr. Hadebe, I'll just pause from the questions that I asked you yesterday. I just want to commence by asking you the background of Section 218. Firstly, can you actually translate the word confession for me in Zulu? What does it mean?
Ukusho okwenzile ngesikhathi ucommita a crime.
It is to say what you did at the time of the commission of a crime.
Okay. All right. In this case, as I've said, I just want to draw you back to Section 218, subsection 1 of the Criminal Procedure Act. Are you familiar with that provision?
Yes, but not word to word.
Yebo ke u218 wona ongibuza ngaye ke ngiyamazi ke kodwa hayi ukuthi nje ngimazi ewonke noma ephelele igama ngegama.
Yeah, looking at the evidence that you gave to the court that this is the fourth pointing out that you have ever conducted since you were appointed as a police officer. Is that correct?
It's correct.
Shilo ukuthi bese noma kube kuyesine noma bezu4 ezinye ebese ngizenzile ke i-pointing out ngaphambi kwalena.
Can you please go back to the paragraph in the pro forma where you said you were requested by Colonel Gininda? Do you see that paragraph that deals with that?
Yes.
I think it's paragraph 2, if I'm not mistaken. Do you see that?
It's 1.
It's paragraph 1.
Yes.
Oh, thank you for the correction. So in that paragraph, you mentioned that you were telephoned by Colonel Gininda to conduct an investigation regarding the pointing out.
Yes, my lord.
Yebo ke lana kubhaliwe ukuthi ke ngafonelwa ke yena uKenneth Gininda ukuthi ngilekeleleke nayo i-pointing out.
Did he specify, because according to the answers that you put here, he said you can assist me in my case. He did not specify actually what case was he referring to. Do you agree?
Yes.
Lana yebo kubhaliwe ukuthi wangicela ukuthi ngimlekelele ngecase yakhe akashongo ke noma anikeze imininingwane ukuthi yipi i-case.
Was it on purpose that it was omitted in your pro forma to conduct a case and does not specify what type of a case was it?
My lord, it's never intentional to hide information, but it is not correct that a person will tell you on what case does he want you to do pointing out, because he will then be discussing the merits of the case.
Akukho ke okwenziwa ngenhloso noma ukuthi mhlambe ke kuyafihlwa ke noma kungavezwa ke noma kwenziwa lokho ngenhloso, kodwa ke angeke kube kahle ke noma kube right ukuthi manje uma esecela ukuthi umlekelele ecaseini ase ekunikeza nemininingwane ukuthi yipi case, ngoba manje ke uzobe esekhuluma noma esekutshela ke ngecase leyo.
Yes, but in relation to this provision of Section 218, there was a specific fact that you expected from the accused. There's a specific, or there's a fact that you were supposed to discover from the accused in terms of that provision. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Yebo ke ngokwalo mthetho ke u218 kwakhona ke lokho okufanele ukuthi ke ngikutholeke noma ngikuzweke kuyena umsolwa.
And in terms of discovering that fact in relation to the information to be given by the accused, that means you had no prior knowledge. You had no prior knowledge of the facts in which you were to conduct a pointing out. Is that
That's correct, my lord.
Ukuthi ke ngathi ke noma ngaleso sikhathi noma uma esengitshelile ke ngalokho ke umsola kusho ukuthi umtshela ngento ebingingenayo ulwazi lwayo noma bengenayo imininingwane mayelana necala lelo.
So when going to a question where after you have explained to him, especially Section 35, about the reasons for his arrest, you indicated that he was arrested. He said he was arrested he was going to point out for the allegations of dealing in drugs. Is that so?
My lord, the accused never said he was going to point out on allegations of drugs.
Umsolo akakaze asho ukuthi kuzoyokhomba mayelana neinsolo zokushushumbisa noma ke zokusebenza ngeidakamizwa.
He said he was in custody on a drug dealing case.
Wathi uboshiwe uboshelwe icala leidakamizwa.
All right. To make a follow-up on that question, in your mind, because you said you did not have a prior knowledge regarding the facts upon which he was supposed to go and point out, were you under the impression that he was going to point out on the case that he was arrested for?
My lord, in my mind, it was the accused who was going to point out on whatever he wanted to point out.
Mina noma ke emqondweni wami ke kwakuwumsolwa olwayizohamba ayokhomba noma yini leyo yena awayifuna noma efisa ukuthi ayoyikhomba.
May I approach the
Yes.
state, my lord? Thank you. So about the case of Senzo Meyiwa, how did you come about to know about his death?
I came up to know about his death on television.
Ukwazi kwami ke mala nokushona kwakhe uSenzo Meyiwa ngakwazi lokho ke ngokubona ke ku-TV.
So you had a knowledge in terms of before the accused were arrested, that there were other people that were arrested before the accused in relation to that matter. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lord.
Ngokuthi ke kwakukhona ke nabanye abantu ababeboshiwe ke ngaphambilini ke ngokuthi baboshe bona ke nalokho ke ngakwazi.
If it came to your attention on the 5th of June 2020 that the pointing out that you had to conduct related to the death of Senzo Meyiwa. Did that not conflict with the information that you expected from accused number 1 to give you prior to the pointing out?
My Lord, it did not conflict with the information that I had, because I had very little knowledge regarding the in-depth investigation of Senzo Meyiwa's case.
Ukuthi ke i-pointing out leyo ke yayimayela ke nalo ke idaba lokushona kwakhe uSenzo Meyiwa, angeke ngithi ke kwakunokuzanaka noma kwakushayisana naloko mina ke enganginako noma ulwazi enganginalo, ngoba ke ulwazi enganginalo mayelana nokushona kwakhe uSenzo Meyiwa laluncane kakhulu.
Are you aware that as per the requirement of section 218, as the accused person, as you said, he voluntarily and freely gave you the information relating to the said matter? Was it not a supplementary information from what you had prior?
My Lord, the information that I got from the accused was never a supplementary information, because I did not have any in-depth information regarding the case, and I never formed part of the investigation of the case.
Ulwazi ke awanginika lona ke noma angalithola kuyena ke umsolwa bangasikona ke ukwengeza kulokho ke enganginako, ngoba ngangingenalo ke ulwazi olujulile ke mayela ke nalo icala noma ukushona kwakhe uSenzo, ngoba angikaze beyingxenye yethimba eliphenyayo.
All right. Now, upon your arrival at Albertine Police Station, you gave the reason that they did not want to account for the fear of the escape. Do you still remember saying that?
That's true, my Lord.
Shilo ke ngiyakhumbula ngikusho ke ukuthi babe Albertine ke babengafisile noma bengafuneki ukuthi kufanele ukuthi baphenduleke mayela nokubaleka kwakhe noma ukuthi ke angabaleka.
Did you buy that reason? Did you actually accede to that reason to be the real reason?
Yes, my Lord. Hence, I went and signed for the accused in the registers.
Kwakulokho ke kwaba imbangela ke yokuthi noma ingakho ke ngahamba ke mina ngaya kuyona iregister leyo, kwaba yimina umuntu osayindayo noma umsayindelayo umsolwa.
We're talking about the accused who intended to point out freely and voluntarily. Do you think of any reason why they had a reason to believe that he was going to escape? On the other hand, the accused is the one who volunteered to the pointing out. Is that not a contrast?
My Lord, it is not a contrast. The members that had doubts and feared about an escape were the people of Albertine SAPS, who were then in custody of the accused at that time.
Akusuke ukuthi ke kunokushayisana noma kunokubuzana ke ukuthi umsolwa kuluhlangothi uyena umuntu wayefisa noma efunaka ukuthi kuphuma kuyena ukuthi ayobomba, nokuthi manje laba bonaka amaphoyisa ayesaba ke ukuthi uma kungenzeka ukuthi ke eqa noma ke abaleke. Lokho ke akusibona ke ukubuzana nokushayisana, abantu ababesaba ke babesaba lokho yilaba abase Albertine Police Station ekwakuyibona awaye ngaphansi kwabo.
All right, let's get back now to the explanation of rights. You indicated yesterday that you explained the rights in terms of section 35 of the Constitution, the right to remain silent, the consequences of not remaining silent, right to legal representation, right to apply for legal aid in the event it does not have money. And I did not receive a response in relation to or after the accused said yes, I understand. I'm still curious to know why there was no follow-up after he said he does understand. Because it's not clear whether he understood the rights as explained and he intended to either to opt for a legal representation or to speak without or to waive the right to remain silent.
My Lord, the questions do not only stop at yes, I understand. It continues where I warn the accused, and it still goes, do you still further wish to point out the sins, where he then says, I still want to point out and give a statement. So it's not only based on, stops on yes, I understand.
Lemibuzo ayiphelile phela ke ethi nje ingabe uyezwa yini iyaqhubeka ke ngoba ke ila sengimxwayisa khona ke ukuthi uyabuzwa ke ukuthi usafisa yini noma kuseyisifiso sakho yini sokuthi uqhubekeke uyokhomba aphenduleke athi ngisafisa noma ngisafuna ukuthi ngiyokhomba futhi nginikeze ngestatement.
All right, let's get into the right to have legal representation. What was his response in terms of that?
He was informed of all the rights and he chose to continue. That is the response.
Watsheba ke ngawo onke amalungelo wakhetha ke ukuthi aqhubeke ileyo impendulo.
Now say let me be specific in terms of the right to legal representation. I think if it was an option that was exercised by the accused, that should have been in your pro forma as an answer you got directly from the accused.
My Lord, it couldn't be. The accused was informed of all his rights, and the accused still preferred to continue.
Lana ke umsolwa uma uthi ke bakufanele lelo lungelo ke uma kokuthi isinqumo sakho bakuthi ke aqhubeke ngaphandle kommeli kwakumele ngikubhale phansi lokho noma khona kule form bangeke ke ngoba ke umsolwa watshelwa ke ngawo onke amalungelo akhe waseqhubeka ke yenako noma ke ethi uyoqhubeka.
But I'm specific about the right to a legal representative. I understand you talk about all the rights because he was supposed to exercise his right, his constitutional right. Either he wants to go in person or to be represented. That's the right that I'm concerned about at the moment.
My Lord, my answer is that all these rights, it does not mean the legal one is sacrosanct or bigger than the other one. All the rights were explained to him and he chose to continue. Going specific on a specific right means that then we undermine the rest of the other rights.
Lamalungelo awawatshela noma awawanikezwa onke akusho ukuthi ke leli lungelo wena ke ugxile kulona ke lommeli lingaphezulu ke kwamanye uma manje ke sesizokhetha ke elilodwa kusho ukuthi amanye lana ke ama rights wona ke awabalulekile.
So are you telling the court that the rights that are mentioned in this pro forma are the only rights that are enshrined under Section 35 of the Bill of Rights? Is that what you are telling the court?
No, my Lord.
Angisho ukuthi lana abhalwe lana ke iwona kuphela ama rights akhona ke ngaphansi kwakhe uSection 35.
In explanation of the rights at that moment, did you explain to him that he has a right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty? Did you explain that right?
I explained the rights that were in the pro forma, my Lord.
Ebuza kumele ukuthi ke ilungelo lokuthi ke ubonwa ke noma ke uzobonwa ke umsulwa kuze kube isikhathi lapho na ke ulahlwa icala noma amacala enkantolo bendithi ke mina ngichaze amalungelo la akhona ke kwiform.
So at the time you were explaining these rights, I'm glad you considered that particular right you never explained to the accused. Let me proceed by saying, when you explained these rights to the accused, were you aware as to when was he arrested?
No, my lord.
Cha ngangingazi-ke nkathi ngimtshela ngala malungelo ukuthi waboshwa nini.
Did you ask the accused as to when was he arrested?
No, my lord, I did not ask him when was he arrested.
Futhi-ke angimbuzanga-ke nokuthi waboshwa nini.
Why not? Why didn't you ask what was he arrested for?
Because he informed me that he knew what he was arrested for, and he was informed of the reasons of his arrest, and that he was currently in custody on a different matter, which is dealing in drugs.
Ngoba-ke yena-ke wangitshela-ke ukuthi uboshelweni, wangitshela-ke nokuthi-ke bamazisa-ke noma babemtshelile-ke ukuthi kungani eboshiwe, nokuthi-ke futhi-ke kwakulinye icala-ke leyidakamizwa.
So, if he said or he informed you that he was arrested or is in custody for the charges of dealing in drugs, so you never inquire as to the reason before he actually waived all these rights. Did you inform him, or did he inform you that he was going to make a pointing out in relation to the present allegations against him? Did he inform you? Other than the answer that you got from him that he was in custody for another offense, which is dealing in drugs, but did he, as a person who made a statement or a pointing out, or a person who intended to make a pointing out freely and voluntarily, he should have freely and voluntarily informed you that I want to go and point out at the crime scene as per the allegations.
My lord, when I asked the accused, his answer was yes, I was informed, because the question was, the said was asked whether he was informed of the reason for his arrest as prescribed by section 35 of the Constitution, and he said yes, I was informed. I took it that he knows what he says he was informed of.
Lana-ke umbuzo uthi wase ebuzwa-ke ukuthi watshelwa yini mayelana nesizathu sokuboshwa kwakhe, nanjengoba kukhona-ke kuyena usection 35 wasephendula-ke wathi yebo ngatshelwa. Lokho-ke kwase kuthi kumina-ke ukuthi-ke wayekwazi-ke lokho athi wakutshelwa.
My question is, did he inform you that he was going to point out freely and voluntarily, without being induced by anyone, to a crime scene in relation to this matter? Did he inform you?
Yes, hence there is a statement that continues after the performance.
Yebo wangitshela-ke ukuthi la azoyokhomba khona-ke yinto leyo ayizenzelayo noma ephuma kuyena-ke, yingakho-ke manje sekune-statement-ke manje emuva kokuthi-ke iperforma lena iqediwe.
All right. At the police station, you mentioned that there were Metro Police officers.
Yes, my lord.
Ngishilo ukuthi kwakunama-Metro Police khona-ke police station.
Were they escorting the accused, according to the information you got?
Yes, my lord, it seems so.
Yebo-ke kuke kanjalo ukuthi bona babem-escorta noma-ke babehamba naye-ke umsola.
Have you inquired from the accused if he was familiar with Albertine and the directions towards the place where he was going to point out?
Yes, my lord, I did.
Ngambuza umsola ukuthi-ke i-Albertine lena uyayazi kanye futhi nendawo lena-ke ayizohamba ayokhomba yona.
So what was the response to him after you made such an inquiry?
He said he is not familiar with Albertine. If we can take him to the entrance of Fosloras, he will show us.
awasitshela kona-ke ukuthi i-Albertine yena akayazi, kodwa-ke uma singamthatha nje simiseke noma siyomfihleza uyofika lapho kungenwa khona noma-ke i-address yase-phosphorus ila azositshengisa khona.
Do you know why he was kept in Albertine police station prior to going to Phosphorus or?
No, my lord.
We don't have a reason why he was kept at Albertine police station.
My lord, the only reason would have been he is transferred from a specific station to Albertine.
Kuphela kwesizathu-ke sokuthi kwangabe kungani-ke agcinwe e-Albertine ukuthi-ke asithi nje ususwe kwesinye isiteshi wabese ethathwa-ke esiwa khona e-Albertine.
But you can confirm before this honorable court that it was not his instruction that he can take the person who's conducting the pointing out from Albertine police station to the crime scene.
That's true, my lord. Hence I gave what he said to me.
Kuyiqinisoko ukuthi-ke akazasho ukuthi yena-ke angasithatha-ke usuke e-Albertine kuye lapho ukhomba khona, ingakho-ke ngiqeda ukusho manje lokhu awakusho yena.
So you further not in dispute of the fact that from Villaria to Phosphorus, where he was assaulted, and back to Albertine, you cannot dispute that.
That's true, my lord. I cannot dispute what I did not see, and I cannot confirm what I did not see.
Kuyiqinisoko ukuthi lokho kushoyo ukuthi wasuswe eVillaria baya-ke ePhosphorus la athi washaywa khona wasebuyele e-Albertine, ukuthi-ke angeke ngiyiphikise into engazange ngiyibone, ngeke ngivume futhi into engazange ngiyibone.
Okay, now we are leaving Albertine police station. At what time did we depart from Albertine police station?
My lord, we left Albertine police station at it is here on the form, it is at I think around 1300 hours or just before 1300 hours.
Noma ngesikhathi saphuma ngaso-ke noma sasuka ngaso khona e-Albertine-ke u-1300 noma-ke u-1 noma nje ngaphambi kwakhe ukuthi kushaye u-1.
Where's that time you're referring to in your performer? In which paragraph are you referring?
It's not. I thought I wrote it, but there is no space for it. But it was before 1.
So I don't think I'll consider that answer as the answer that I expected from you, the one who was assigned to conduct the pointing out. You should have specified as to the time in which you departed from Albertine, because you specified the time you returned to Albertine. You said you returned at 1:30.
That's true, my lord. I would have specified it if it was here if there was a space for it here on the form. I did not intentionally not mention it to hide anything.
Was it not imperative? I understand you make an ill excuse of a space on the proforma. Was it not imperative for you to record the time of departure? Because it was imperative for you to take photos of the odometer of the motor vehicle that transported the accused person. I find no reason for you not to specify the time in which you departed.
My lord, I'm being asked a question which is clear. The kilometer reading of the vehicle appears on the form, hence it was written. Time of departure does not appear on the form, And the comparison thereof, I don't understand.
Lana ngibuzwa ke umbuzo ucacile ukuthi ke i-reading ke noma ama-kilometer emoto kona kukhona noma ispace sakho lokho kukhona lana ukuthi ke manje kuqhathaniswe lokho nesikhathi sokuhamba ngoba la isikhathi sokuhamba asikho ispace ayikho indawo ebhalwe lokho la kwiform.
All right. How were we going to determine as to how long did it take you to conduct the pointing out if there is no record of the departure?
The time of how long did I do the pointing out can be determined by me giving evidence and explaining to this court.
Isikhathi ke sokuthi noma ukuthi kwathatha isikhathi singakanani ukuthi ke lokwakhomba noma le pointing out lokho ke kungathi kutholeke ngokuthi mina ke nginikeze ubufakazi la enkantolo.
The reason for this question is to demonstrate a lot of mistakes that you have made during the investigating process. You've made a lot of mistakes in this pro forma.
I do not agree, man.
Angivumi ke uma uthi ngenze amaphutha amaningi kule form.
All right. I'll firstly highlight the first mistake you've made. The first mistake, you said you received the information on the 5th of May. On the 4th of May. That was the first mistake. And you wanted to correct it under oath because you did not see that mistake prior to the disclosure of this form to the defense. That's the first mistake you've made. Do you agree?
Yes, I agree. It's a human error.
Ngiyavuma ukuthi ke umuntu abenza ke iphutha uma uthi ke ngenza iphutha lokuqala ukuthi ngibhale mina i4 zika May.
I want to remind you that we are here about the life of a person. The life of a person who has been deprived of his freedom. So if you talk about human error, we understand human error. Is it a human error again not to record the time of departure? It's also a human error.
My Lord, it's not necessarily a human error not to record the time of departure. It is not in the form. I worked according to the form of the pointing.
Mina ngisebenze ngayo iform lena isikhathi lesi sokuthi sisuke nganini eAlbertine ayikho indawo yakho lokho la.
Okay, I'll move on. I'll leave that for argument. But I can see you are evasive. You are trying to avoid my question. Let's move on. Let's look at the time you came back. You recorded 1:30. Is that correct?
That's true, my Lord.
Isikhathi sokubuya ke engisibhalile la 1:30.
All right. Give us a practical picture. You are departing from Albertine Police Station. At the moment you are departing, after you have explained the rights, you come back 1:30. Then you mentioned that you completed the form. It was 14:20. Do you agree?
I agree, my Lord.
Yebo ke masibuya ngishilo noma ngibhalile la ukuthi ke kwakuseo manje u20:02 noma 14:20 uma sekadela ke iform kathi sesibuyile.
So to complete this form took you more or less 50 minutes according to time frame. 1:30 you came back, you attended to complete the form 2:20, or more or less 50 minutes. Is that correct?
That is not to complete the form that took 50 minutes. There was an interview and a statement obtained from the accused. That whole thing encompasses the 2:20 time.
Akusilona iqiniso ukuthi ke manje uqedela ke iform lokho kwathatha u15 minutes. Kwaba manje ke ne-interview ke nayo nokuthatha ke lesi statement lesi kuyena umsoli. Konke ke lokho ukuhlanganisa ke ikona ke okwaye kuyofika ke lesi sikhathi sika 2:20.
As you were going to the place or to the scene, to the crime scene, were you taking some notes from what the accused was saying when you were conveying him to the crime scene? Were you jotting some notes, making some entries?
There was nothing that he said on our way to the crime scene.
Endleleni ke eyakhona lapho ke kwindawo yesigameko akukho awakusho ke noma awayekusho umsolo.
So are you telling the court that within that 50 minutes, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the statement of the accused consists of 2 pages and the pro forma consists of 5 pages, 3 pages of the statement. So more or less 8 pages that you completed within a period of 15 minutes. Was that probable?
Yes.
Yebo ukuthi ke lamaphage awu-8 ngangwa kwenzekala noma kuthiwa into engenzekala ukuthi ngaleso sikhathi leso sika 15 minutes ngaqeda.
So during the pointing out, I don't want to get into the merits of the pointing out, but can you assure the court that there was no investigating officer present, physically present during the pointing out?
Yes, I can assure the court.
Nganikezwa lenkantolo isiqinisekiso sokuthi ke ngalesi sikhathi ke ekhomba ke noma ku pointing out umphenyi wecala ke noma umseshi wayengekho.
Do you know Mr. Mahano? Sergeant Mahano, if I'm not mistaken, in terms of the title?
Yes.
Or rank. Do you know him?
Yes.
Yebo ngiyamazi ke uSergeant Mahane.
What was his involvement during the pointing out? Was he present? He was not present?
The last time I saw him, he was at the police station when I gave him the forms.
Ukugcina kwami ukumbona ke kwakuse police station kade ngimnikeza ke amaform.
So in other words, he was not at the scene crime
Yes.
scene, sorry.
Yes.
Wayengekho ke lapha yana kuleya ndawo yesigameko.
That's not my instruction. My instruction is that Sergeant Mahano was present when this pointing out took place, in the presence of more or less heavily armed TRT police unit.
That's not correct, my lord. I did not see Sergeant Mahano there. And
sorry.
the other thing that I need to clarify to the court is that the question was, during the pointing out, was the investigating officer there? I said no, because the investigating officer is Brigadier Gininda. So Brigadier Gininda was nowhere there.
Umbuzo ubuzile ukuthi umseshi noma umphenyi weqala wayekhona ke ngathi cha umphenyi weqala kwakuyibrigadier Gininda yena ke wayengekho lapho.
There is evidence before this court that Mahano was present when a confession was made in the presence of or in front of a magistrate for accused number 2. He was present at that time, but not inside according to the state witnesses. He was present. I just want to check his involvement in this, if he was not an investigating officer.
My lord, I wouldn't know what is Mahano's participation in the investigation. I would only answer for what I did on the day of the pointing out, which is to hand over documents to him.
Angeke ngazi ke ukuthi ke umhano ke yena ke bakuyini ke emhlanganisa ke nophenyo kwabelicala engakusho ke kuna ke yiloko mina nje engakwenza ngalelo langa le pointing out okukwakumnikeza ama documents.
So do you also dispute that there were members of the TRT police officers or police unit?
During the pointing out, there wasn't any member of the TRT.
ngesikhathi i-pointing out yenzeka lalingekho ilunga noma amalunga e-TRT.
Who was escorting you?
I was escorted by EMPD members.
Abantu ababengi-escorta amalunga-ke e-EMPD.
How many were they?
They were in 2 cars, my lord. I think there were 4.
Babehamba ngey'moto ey'mbili, ngicabanga ukuthi babe-4.
Did you not observe or see a minibus that was transporting the members of the TRT?
No, my lord, I didn't.
Anzange ngiboneke ibhasi eyayihamba-ke labo be-TRT.
So these members of the EMPD, were they also present during the pointing out?
My lord, they kept a distance away from the pointing out.
Laba-ke be-EMPD bona-ke babeqhelileke,
But they were present in the distance.
babekhona-ke lapho i-pointing out yenzeka, kodwa-ke babeqhelile.
May I consult you?
Yes.
So, in terms of your experience in relation to the pointing out, you said, as you have said, this was the 4th one. So you did not have necessary skill and experience and proficiency to conduct a pointing out.
As a court, please, I don't understand what is the basis for the question. The witness has put his background on record, how he worked at, amongst others, murder and robbery in the vow. Can we just get clarity as to what is the basis for that question?
Yes.
The basis for this question is
What is the basis?
arises from the mistakes that he has made and the last statement that he has made in which the witness indicated that he has, to the best of his knowledge, satisfied himself that the information is incorrect. I believe it's in the last page of the pro forma. May I proceed, my lord?
Where do you see that? You say there's what on this pro forma?
There is an indication from at the last page.
Indication.
Yes.
Last page.
Last page. It starts with after the conclusion of, my lord.
Yeah. So where is that indication? Because I see after the conclusion, pointing of the scenes and of points, the notes are read to the person who pointed out and they are interpreted once again. The following questions are now put to the person who pointed out the scenes and of points. 1. Are you satisfied that which you pointed out and said has been noted down correctly? Answer, yes. 2. Are you satisfied that which you pointed out is your own version of what took place? Answer, yes. Do you have any complaints about the manner in which I conducted the pointing out? Answer, no. Are you satisfied with the interpreter? It's not applicable because there was no interpreter. Where is the indicator, sir?
May I withdraw that, my lord?
Yes.
Because the basis for this question, let me just rephrase it in this manner. After the completion of this pro forma, Did you recheck every information that is contained there?
I went through the pro forma, hence I immediately left it.
Iperforma lena ngayibheka-ke mase ngiqedile-ke ingakho-ke ngayishiya.
All right. May I just put the version of the accused before I conclude my cross-examination? My instruction is that the accused person was arrested on the 30th of May 2020 at Tembisa. During the arrest, he was assaulted. He was then taken to Vosloorus, next to a municipality area, where he was further assaulted, choked with a plastic bag. And
Sorry, just for my clarification.
yes,
Is it in a room? Is it in the open field? Is it in a police station? Where? A residential area, because you say he was again assaulted.
he was assaulted
Where?
at police.
If you want to disclose it. If you don't want to, fine. It's just
Man-
for my clarification.
I'll clarify that, my lord, because it's my version. It's the version of the accused. On the day he was arrested, on the 30th of May 2020, he was assaulted by the police outside the house. He was assaulted by the police in Tembisa at a place called Litabong. And he was then taken again to Vosloorus, to a place which he assumed or suspected to be a municipality area next to the court, where he was further assaulted.
My Lord, if I may take instructions in the meantime.
Thereafter, he was transported to Albertine. And on the 30th, he was assaulted in the presence of Colonel Mboto, who took a confession from the accused. Can you comment on that?
You know, Mr. Gomez, I want to be fair to you.
Yes.
You didn't cross-examine Mboto. The assertion which was put was never that he was assaulted in the presence of Colonel Mboto. The assertion was that when the accused entered Mboto's office, the assault stopped, and Mboto took out a completed pro forma and a completed statement and said to the accused, "Why did you sign this? Because these people are going to keep on assaulting me." That was what was put, not inside the office.
May I confirm that?
But I don't want us to.
My Lord, I beg leave to adjourn for a few minutes, my Lord. I just want to take proper instruction relating to this, because I'm so sorry, because the version that I'm putting to the accused, to the witness, I'm not privy to the version that was given or put
I just
to-
told you what it was.
That's correct.
Yeah.
There's something that I need to correct before
Okay,
we
fine.
proceed.
How long?
10 minutes.
What's your time then?
20 minutes. It's 5 to 11.
20 minutes. Okay. Yeah, the 20 minutes ended at 15 minutes past 11. That's why I went to tease. Yes, Mr. Yes. I thought you were going to say something. Okay. Yes, Mr. Mngqibelo.
Thank you, my lord. My lord, before I proceed putting the version of the accused, there's one aspect that I need to clarify to the witness.
Okay.
My lord. Mr. Khatebe, you mentioned that the accused said when you were transporting him from Albertine to Vosloorus, he said, if you can take me to the entrance of Vosloorus. Is that what you said?
That's true.
ngishilo ukuthi ngathi sihamba ke noma ngihambisa ke wathi ke uma ungamthatha nje ungise la engenwa khona noma lokho kubiza ukuthi entrance yase Vosloorus.
If that is the case, which entrance are you talking about in Vosloorus?
That
To
is
which
the
entrance did you take the accused to?
that is the entrance next to the shopping complex.
Ile ndawo yokungena ke eseduze ke nala kunezitolo khona ke noma entrance le eseduze ne shopping complex.
Is it the only entrance or is it the only shopping complex?
My lord, I can't say that. I don't even know that area. So the driver was the one who drove to that direction.
Angeke ngikusho ukuthi iyona kuphela ke le ndawo enezitolo angiyazi ke le ndawo noma le area umshayeli uyena owadriver ke waya ngakulolo hlangothi lolo.
Mr. Spear is going to deny that he gave you the directions to that particular place where you allege he has made a pointing out. He will deny that.
My lord, I would not have known those points if they were not pointed out by him.
Ngangeke ngizazi ke lezo ndawo noma lawo ma points uma kuukuthi ayengakhonjiwe uyena.
It is further my instruction regarding, or let me just put it this way. Did he ever directed you to that particular place? Did he actually instruct the driver to turn right, left, stop?
My lord, we took him to, he said we must take him to the entrance. From that area he said, now I see. And then he directed it.
What? Asimthathe simse la ngena khona noma ke ku entrance. Ukusuka lapho ke wasethi manje ke sengiyabona ke kwaba uyena ke manje osesitshela noma sesikhombisa.
Yes, may I repeat that question? Did he direct you or did he direct the driver? If he says yes, now I can see. But was he directing the driver to say he must turn left, he must turn right?
Yes.
Uyena ke wayitshela ke umshayeli ukuthi manje ke usungajika ke ekunxele usungajika ke kwesokudla.
The accused will deny that. He will dispute that.
That's what happened.
Uma uthi ke uzophika yiloko okwenzeka.
The version on the 5th of June 2020, according to his version, he doesn't even know that particular place. The only place where he was taken to, where he saw that he was at Vosloorus, was at the hostel in Vosloorus, because he was residing there previously. That's the only place he saw.
That's not correct, my lord. I did not even know the points that he pointed me, except being directed by him.
Ukuthi ke wayengazazi ke noma indawo awayeyazi ke eVosloorus ihostel ngoba wayehlala lapho akusilona iqiniso ngoba ke mina ke lama points lezi ndawo ngangazazi mina uyena owayeyikhomba.
It is further my instruction that he was coerced to point at a place or at that particular place that he didn't know. He was never there previously.
He was never coerced by me, my lord, and he never reported ever being coerced by anyone else.
Akakaze aphoqwe yimina ukuthi ke akakhombe futhi ke akakaze asho kumina ukuthi ukhona owamphoqa ukuthi akakwenze lokho.
Let me just get back to the version to establish the history of assault or as from the 30th of May 2020. For the point of correction that from the error that has occurred on putting that in version, I was instructed to inform you that when he was arrested on the 30th of May 2020, he was taken to a certain place in Litabong. It's a municipality area where he was assaulted, he was suffocated by the police. Furthermore, he was taken to, after that, yes, Litabong is in Tembisa. After Tembisa, he was taken to Force Lawrence, where he was further assaulted. It is also a place, a municipality area. Do you have knowledge of that?
No, I don't.
Anginalwazi ke lokho kushoyo ukuthi ke washaywa ke wasiwa kule ndawo ke kwakubukeka ke nathi ngathi indawo kamasipala eLithabong eThembisa ila ashaywa khona ke nokuthi emuva kwalokho wase esiwa futhi ePostola's nalapho kwakuyindawo ke bathi ekamasipala. Anginalwazi kwalokho.
He was also assaulted at the Kloof police station in the office, where during the assault Colonel Mboto entered the office and the assault stopped. Do you have knowledge of that?
No, I don't have.
Nokuthi waqhubeka ke washaywa ke eshaywa epolice station lase Deep Kloof kunehhovisi lapho kwathi masengena ke uKolonel Mboto base beyeka ke kumshaya nalokho angikwazi.
And Colonel Mboto was in possession of documents which he presented to the accused to sign. And he said to him, if you don't sign this document, I'll let these people to continue assaulting you. Do you have knowledge of that?
My lord, I don't have knowledge.
Nalokho ke angikwazi ukuthi ke uKolonel Mboto wangena lapho ke ephethe ama documents ewabonisa ke noma wajengisa yena umsolo athi ke nake akasayinde uma kuukuthi akasayindi uzobadedela ke lapho ukuthi baqhubeke ke bamshaye. Angikwazi lokho.
Thank you, my lord. That concludes my cross-examination.
Thank you. Mr. Mnisi?
As it is the governor, just a few aspects of clarification. As it is the governor.
Yep.
Thank you, sir. You had told the court in your evidence in chief that the pointing out that you conducted with accused number 1 was your fourth one, not so?
That's true.
Ngishilo ke ukuthi lena ke pointing out nangiyoyenza no accused number 1 kwakuyisimo.
Am I then, I'm trying to thread very carefully, would you say then I'm making a mistake when I were to say to you, you basically were in your fledgling stages, in your nascent, like in your budding stages in terms of the processes of taking down and pointing out?
I don't know what you mean.
I mean, you were still in your budding stages. Means you were still new. You had not yet had or accumulated a lot of experience in terms of pointing out.
My
Not
Lord,
in general, but pointing out.
My Lord, in terms of pointing out and experience-based, experience one gains it by doing the pointing out and later on giving evidence in court about it. So if my fourth one is at infancy, I doubt it.
Isipiliyoni ke usithola ngokuthi ngokumayela ke nawo ke ama pointing out ngokuthi uwenze uye kuona ubese uyeza ke uzonikeza ngobufakazi enkantolo ukuthi ke manje ngangingeba kabi naso ke isipiliyoni hayi lokho ngiyakugabaza.
I don't want to leave at this point, but at that moment in time, when you were requested to go take a pointing out or to assist with a pointing out in respect of accused number one, did you regard yourself as an experienced person in taking down or in taking pointing outs or in conducting pointing outs?
Yes.
Mina ke ngaleso sikhathi ngicela ukuthi angihambe ke ngiyosiza ngalena mayelana naye ke accused number one ngithatha nanjengomuntu ke owaziyo lo msebenzi noma ke onesipiliyoni.
Thank you. Before I forget this one, and after you've taken this pointing out, did you submit your statement as a witness where you detailed how the pointing out went on and stuff like that? And
Yes.
affidavit?
Yes, I did, my Lord.
Ikamuva ke sengiqedile istatement sami ngasindlulisa ke la engangichaza khona ke ukuthi pointing out yahamba kanjani noma yenzeka kanjani.
Maybe I need to explain it to you before there's a bit of a confusion. I mean a statement as a witness, not a statement that you could have taken at the time at which the pointing out was being done. Do you understand? Statement as a witness.
Yes, I did, man.
Yebo istatement nanjengofakazi yebo ngasenza.
I don't want to labor the point, but it is unfortunate. I think maybe I need to simply say it very openly and succinctly that unfortunately that statement, I'm talking on my behalf, it was never discovered to me. But nonetheless, it could be neither here nor there. But let's proceed. Thank you.
There's the statement according to Mr. Baloyi.
It's only coming up now, my friend. That is exactly what I'm trying to get at, my lord. That up until this witness started to proffer his testimony, I never had sight of the statement that he made where he detailed how the pointing out actually progressed as a witness. I never had sight.
You never discovered that statement?
Well, as is dated the 18th of June 2020, we would have thought that the statement has been discovered, the pointings out was discovered. If it wasn't, my lord, then perhaps there was an omission along the route, but there is a statement.
Was it discovered, Mr.
I think this is the court, my lord. My lord, this is for the first time that I have sight of this document.
Right, Mr. Mamadu? First time you saw the document.
I haven't seen it before, my lord. I haven't seen
Ms. Mshololo?
Yes, my lord, I have not even seen it. Not seen the statement before.
Okay, for the fairness of the trial, I'm going to add Ben. And the recons. What's your time there?
10 to 12 my lord.
10 to 12, my lord.
10 to 12.
Yes.
I'll come back at 2.
As
you
it
can
is the
take
court.
instructions.
We appreciate the indulgence. Thank
Yeah,
you, madam.
and then we can cross-examine, even Mr. Mgomezulu, if you want to read, cross-examine in view of the statement, you can do so.
Court pleases me.